Hello, as you know, I am Eli, the computer guy, and this is my basement. Oh yeah, this is geek cribs for you, right? All those superstars, all those NFL players, yeah, they show you their fancy mansions, their fancy sports cars. I'm a geek. I want to show you my slightly less crappy basement. So I've been working on renovating this basement for about the past year. So if you look up here, basically, you can see a lot of the woodwork looks really old, and the reason is because it is. So my house is a renovated 150-year-old barn. Let me just say right now, never buy a renovated 150-year-old barn. Unless you have a lot more money than I do. Oh my golly, this place has required so much work. But anyways, one of the things that when they renovated, they hadn't really done much with is the basement. And so the basement, when we came here, was basically the 150-year-old basement. It was a 150-year-old basement. The only difference was they had put in this cement floor at some point. But otherwise, this white wall wasn't here. It was literally just the back of the 150-year-old wood that had holes in it and all that kind of stuff. There weren't even windows in the windows when we came in. Oh, we should not have bought this house. If you're looking at a house and you're thinking, it just needs a little fixer-upper, buy another house. This house is the example of why you just spend the money so somebody else can renovate a house for you. But anyways, so you know, we put in windows a couple of years ago. We sealed the outside. We actually put siding on the outside of this. We sealed the outside like 4 or 5 years ago. But down here, we hadn't really done a lot with it. And so we had a lot of moisture problems. I mean, to say moisture problems, moisture is just not the right word. That is an imprecise word. We had water problems, right? Because we go in here, basically we can see I patched up this wall, but if we go over to this area, I still need to do some work. Basically, like down here, this is what all the wall looked like. And so right over here, right on the other side of this is like the top of the hill. And so literally water would hit the side of the barn, come down, hit the ground, and then once at a certain point, everything got saturated, water, again, not moisture, water would come through the walls. So I've gone through about 30 bags of mortar, right around 30 bags of mortar so far, to patch all of this. Then I've painted it, Valspar. Actually, I like Valspar. Valspar masonry paint. I've gone through about 20 gallons. I think I've gone through 15 gallons and I have another 5 to put on here. So that's waterproof the wall. So I've done all that. So I've done that. I spray foam the ceiling. So I spray foam the ceiling. I spray foam the outside wall. Then I put insulation here. And then I put up these are actually nice. These are just wood panels. If you need to wall like 100-foot span, these wood panels are nice. Basically, you just nail gun them up there. You put some trim work, you paint, and you're like, wow, that's great. But the final thing that needed to be done, so once the wall was mortared, once the wall was painted, one of the things that I found down here, which I was kind of surprised, is it was still pretty moist. It was still moist. Like the water problem was basically solved. But there was still a lot of like just moisture in the air. And so I started to waterproof the floor. And I have to say, since I decided to waterproof the floor, it has started to feel a hell of a lot nicer down here. I really do. So I've waterproofed, I don't know, let's say 80% of the floor. 80% of the floor. And just by waterproofing 80% of the floor, I am genuinely telling you, down here feels better. Like you want to think about it because this is, it's cement floor, how much moisture comes through a cement floor, enough that you can feel. But one of the problems is, so I was thinking about it. So the question is how am I going to waterproof the floor? All right, so if you're going to waterproof the floor, look for different waterproofing stuff out there. There's epoxy type stuff. Seems like a pain in the butt. There's paint. There's a whole bunch of things. One of the issues, though, I was looking at is a lot of those, like the paints and other things, you really need to prepare the floor. So when you have a floor like this is actually smooth. They did a good job pouring pouring this part of the floor. But it's smooth and there's not a lot of texture to it. So when I was looking at the paints, when I was looking at some of the other things, you would have to like pre-finish the floor. So you'd have to pre-finish, basically like use acid wash. You would have to do something to actually put like a little grit in the floor so the paint could stick. So I was looking at all these options and they all seem like a pain in the ass. Honestly, they all seem like a pain in the ass. I'm like, I just want a waterproof floor. It's still my basement. It's still my basement at the end of the day. I'm still going to be doing woodworking down here. I'm still going to be doing other stuff down here. I don't really want to go through a lot of effort to waterproof the floor, but I do need to seal the floor. Because one, it's for moisture coming up. But two, it's also for moisture and crap going in. Like one of the weird things, when you have a pure cement floor, when you have a cement floor that's just cement, not sealed, it's always dirty. It's always dirty. It's like a little kid. No matter how much you clean it, it's always dirty. You mop it once. You mop it again. You mop it 20 times, and it's always dirty. I don't know how it keeps dirt. But anyways, the nice part is like when you seal it, not only does it seal from water coming up, but then when you spill something on it, you can just wipe it up. When you go to vacuum or to clean, it actually gives that barrier. So once it's sealed, you know, it's actually a hell of a lot easier to clean. And so I was thinking about this, right? So I need it sealed so it's easier, blah, blah, blah. I don't really overly care what it looks like, but I don't want it to be like garish. Like I was looking at some of the paints. I don't want to be like raw garish. So it's like, you know, I'm looking for something, what's kind of like a basically cement color, cementy type color, that I'm not going to have to do a lot of preparation work on the floor because I don't want to do a lot of preparation work for the floor, blah, blah, blah. And what I came by is this stuff. It's Valspar. Now, I went to Lowe's. I like Lowe's. I prefer Lowe's over Home Depot. Not sponsored, just how it is. It's called Valspar. Protective Sealer Wet Look. That's just all it's called, this. So I originally, to be clear, I originally got a 5-gallon bucket of this stuff. And so this 5-gallon bucket did 80 or 90% of this entire basement. So this basement's, let's say, somewhere spitting distance of 1,500 square feet. So I put 2 coats on. So 2 coats of this Valspar stuff, 5 gallons, probably did about 1,200 square feet. And so if you're thinking about that, that's really like 2,400 square feet. So I think what they say with this is that it does like 400 or 500 square feet per gallon. So this is a gallon jug. So that's about right. So like 400 or 500 square feet, but then if you double it, that means only 200 to 250 finished square feet. As far as cost goes, not horrible. If you buy it by the gallon, it's about $32, $33. If you buy it by the 5-gallon, it's $120. And so that's why I just bought 2 more gallons to finish this off. So I had 5 gallons, so 1,500 square feet will take me about 7 gallons total. So some total cost of that is, I don't know, what, 180 bucks, which isn't bad. Again, like I say, down here feels a hell of a lot better. The cool part I like about this is it's not really a paint. It's not really a polyurethane. It's kind of almost like a wax. Like I'll show you when I pour it into the big jug over there. It's actually like a water. Like what it reminds me of is when I was in the military, we would use these little buffing machines, buffing machines. And there was like this wax that we used, and it just looked like this white water crap. And that's what this looks like. So basically, that's a nice start. If you listen to it, it's water. It's not paint, which is nice. And so basically, what you do is you just paint. So I have a big old paintbrush over there. So you just paint it on the floor. Then you wait 2 hours to paint the second coat on. So it only takes about 2 hours to paint the second coat on. And then you wait 24 hours, and then you put crap on top of it. And like I say, it works really well. I've done this whole basement, again, just finishing it up now. And then when it gets warm outside, I'm going to do a garage. So I have a 2-car garage, and I like this stuff so much. Again, no ad, no sponsorship. I'm going to buy another couple of gallons and do my 2-car garage because this stuff is just great. Preparation work? No preparation work. Shockingly, no preparation work. You probably look at this floor. You look at this floor, and you're like, he's not going to seal that. It still looks pretty crappy. Boys and girls, you're right. Like some of the areas here, again, I was trying to mop, I was trying to clean, I was trying to make it perfect. And then I realized I just didn't care. And the nice part is, neither does Valspar. You just paint it over and it's fine. Like it's so easy to deal with. Even if some stuff does flake up later, I'll just come back and be done with it. Doesn't really matter. It's like great. And the other thing too, is, so I've been moving stuff. Again, I've been moving stuff this way. I've been moving stuff that way. So far, I haven't scratched it. I haven't marked it. I haven't scuffed it. Because I've seen that with paint. I've had friends, paint cement, and then they scuff it like within a week. So far, no scuffs or anything else. So you just put this stuff on, and away you go. Anything else to say? Oh yeah, the only thing is with temperature. That's why I'm not going to do my garage. Has to be like 50, 60 degrees. And so down here in the basement, it's actually sealed up, so it's 50 or 60 degrees. But I wouldn't do this out in the garage because it's winter, and so it's 20 degrees at night. So that's not a good time to do it. That's the only. I mean, I don't know if it's a downside. Like that's the only thing. Like yeah, it has to be at least 60 degrees. But otherwise, pretty easy to do. So let me see. Where is my my gloves are there. So let me put this here. I'll show you just how easy this Valspar is. The Valspar, again, Valspar is great. This is the type of thing. If PR people actually knew how to do their jobs, I'm just saying, if any PR people actually knew how to do their jobs, then they would come to people like me, and Valspar would sponsor me. Because that's the thing, right? This is the kind of thing I can talk about. And again, this is not networking. This is not a router. This is not a switch. This is not a SAN, right? So I can just give you my honest opinion about this. Which is nice with sponsorships or whatever, right? Because that's what I have to worry about with sponsors. Like if I get sponsorships, if I get paid by somebody and it's a tech product, then I have to worry like, oh, what if I say something wrong? If it's something like Valspar, it's not a tech product, so I can just say exactly what I mean. Anyways, so you stake it. I'm gonna shake it. I don't really think you need to shake it, because again, it's very watery. Then you pull the top off. Oops. And then of course it's got childproof. It's got a childproof thing, because of course it does. So I gotta poke a hole in that. And then we take it, and again, just to show you, this really is. It's like, well, it's like water. Like to say, like see this? It's not paint. Again, if you were in the military, and you ever dealt with that weird wax crap they give you to buff the floors, it's really a lot like that. The nice part too is it doesn't give off a lot of fumes. You can smell it. You can smell it, obviously, but it's not bad. I don't know. I don't know if I'm supposed to be doing this, but it's not like paint. Like some of the paints are like like polyurethanes and stuff. But there's not, so again, like doing the basement, it doesn't make the rest of the house smell bad. So then what you do, you take your brush, so you get a nice big 5-inch brush. That's all you need. And then you come, and you just start gooping. You just start gooping. Again, when I say goop, I just mean this is what I do. Oh, da-da-da. So you just slop this stuff around. And now, for the next minute, you're gonna see my butt as I slop stuff around. This probably doesn't make the most entertaining of videos, or I don't know, maybe it does. You like to see my butt? The gay boys probably like to see my butt. The gay boys like to see my butt a little bit too much. It's not really that they like to see my butt a little bit too much. They just tell me they like to see my butt a little bit too much. Like, I'm glad you like to see my butt, but can you just calm down on that a little bit? But see what I'm doing here? Like this is literally, this is all you do. This is all you do. You just slop it on. I'm not even sure they would agree with how sloppy I am, but it actually works well. This is how I've done the rest of the basement, and it works well. Again, whether or not it's the specific instructions. I'm gonna do this. I slop, sloppy. See, it's nice. Like it's not like paint where you have to worry about lines or anything. You don't want to be too sloppy. Like there are some areas I was a little too sloppy, and so it did pool a little bit. And so in those areas, I don't know, you can see a bit of a difference. If you pay attention to a basement floor, I guess you can see where there's a difference. Like, look at that. That's that's a couple square feet done already. Let's see. Do that. See, look, just do that. And this is literally how I've done the whole basement. And even over here, there's some of this weird cement stuff. I'll just goop it in there. Why the hell? Why the hell not? Just waterproof it all. Waterproof it all. Let God sort it out, I suppose. Look at that. Like I say, it's just water. It just goes into everything. It's kind of funny. I bet you there'll be some Valspar person watching this, like losing their minds. Because they're like, no, that's not how you're supposed to use it. It's like, you do not tell a geek how they're supposed to use a product. We will figure it out. That's why instruction manuals no longer come with any computer, no longer come with any computer devices. Because we just don't care about no instruction manuals. Yeah, look at this whole area. Oh, I guess I'll show you. I could clip, I could jump cut, but that would not be me. I could, I don't know, I could do a lot of things, I suppose. There's a lot of things in life I could do, but I don't. So anyways, just to show you how ridiculously easy this really is. Goosh, 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 goosh. Goosh, 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 goosh. There you go. So that's, yay! Oh, I do have to say, talking and waterproofing at the same time. I might be a little out of shape. A little more out of shape than I think. But anyways, so now that's done. And so what I'll do is I'll wait about 2 hours, and then I'll put the next coat of the Valspar on. And then, like I said, that's how I've done the rest of this. And it all looks good, and it all looks nice. Again, when you look at that slop, is that as professional as it could be? See how over there, see how that little white puddle? Valspar's instructions tells you you should not have a white puddle like that. Eli's instructions are, yeah, it's fine. Yeah, it's fine. I'm not doing this for a client. Because again, I don't even know if you can see it on the video. Like here, like if you can see like right here, there's kind of like a little extra was here. And so if you really look at it in the right light, you can see something. Again, in my basement. So that's the thing, like if you let it pool, it will obviously dry as a pool and you'll see a little, it'll look a little bit different. But again, it depends. Like if you're doing this on your patio, if you're doing this, like if I was doing this in my garage, when I do this in my garage, I will be much more careful because that's much more visual. Like you can actually see stuff. It's a big open area. But again, here in my I still have to clean stuff up, but even once I clean everything up, there's still gonna be a lot of crap down here. So if anybody's paying too much attention to my floor, they've got other problems. But the cool part about it too is, like I say, since it's not a paint, since it doesn't, create lines and all that kind of thing, what I've been able to do is I've been able to do this basement in sections relatively easily. So I did one section, basically I pull everything off one section, sweep, do the one section, do the second coat on one section, let it dry for 24 hours, put everything on that section, come to the next section, come to the next section. So like that's the thing. So I waterproofed under my whole studio area. And that's what I did. Like right before Christmas, I did a video talking about it where I pulled everything out, literally everything, carpet, everything out, cleaned it, sealed it again, let it sit for like 72 hours, then put all my stuff back. And again, like if you look at the floor, you cannot tell what sections I did. Yeah, really. Like once you put the second coat on, I do have to say, like the difference between the first coat and the second coat, if you're worried about that, like, oh, can you tell the difference between where you put the first coat and the second coat? There is a difference. Like the first coat is a little mattier. And then when you put the second coat on, it makes it glossy. So it's pretty easy to know where where your edges, know where your boundaries are. So yeah, it's great. And like I say, the good part is there are some imperfections on my floor. Like even over here, right? Even over here, I'm gonna have to deal with some of the cement where I'm gonna have to chisel some stuff out and clean it up. But that's a part, like it's not, I'll just chisel it out. And if I wanna seal it, then I throw some more sealant on it. And if I wanna do something else, I do that. It's not, it's just great stuff. It's like, I don't know, it's like if you took wax and you took paint and you put them together and then the spaghetti monster itself blessed the concoction. So anyways, people have been asking me, so this is it. I love it. I like it. I love it. I want more of it. Valspar, protective sealer. This is the wet look. Apparently there is a non-wet look. You can decide whether you want the wet look or the non-wet look. I like the wet look. I don't know. I just like the wet look. Again, right around $32 a gallon, right around $120 for a 5-gallon. As I say, 1,500 square foot basement. As far as I can figure, 12 to 1,300 square feet. So 12 to 1,300 square feet, double coated with 1 5-gallon. That's not bad. Again, like when you're talking about doing work on your house. So even buying 2 of these, which is probably a little bit of overkill, honestly. But again, you're talking about 1,500 square feet for less than $200 in sealant. And again, no acid freaking water. Oh my golly, you read the requirements of some of this other stuff, and you're just like, no, I'm not gonna do that, right? There's no acid washing. There's no, oh, you look at the requirements of some of this other floor stuff, and you're like, you've gotta be, no, I'm not gonna do it. This stuff, literally, you just throw it on the floor. Throw it on the floor. Maybe a mop. It probably would be a good idea to mop, but even if you don't mop, it doesn't seem too bad either. If it comes up a little bit, just, it's like, that's the thing. Like, even if you put it on an area that wasn't properly mopped and it does come up a little bit after a while, just scrape it off and then put some more stuff on it and walk away. That's how I like to do work. So anyways, Valspar, protective stuff. Oh, I have to take a glove off so I can end this. And with that, we'll call it a video. Still working on my basement. Again, we got the nice little studio area here. So that's shaping up. Got to do some walls. I'm going to do some walls so it'll prevent echoing and all that kind of stuff. So I'm going to do some wally stuff here. I'm going to do some more stuff. Got to get rid of some stuff. Got to build some other stuff. This is going to be the boat area. That's right. I have so much room in my basement. I'm going to have a boat area, like kayaks and that kind of stuff are going to go here. And that's going to be the woodworking area over there. So still definitely have more work to do. You know, catch me in another year. In another year, I'm pretty sure the work will be done. But this is where we are. So anyways, if you're thinking about it, let's think about it. Again, good floor, good floor. I like the Valspar stuff too, like the Valspar paint. Been using the Valspar paint to paint the walls. I think that's over here. Again, I like Valspar. Again, they're not, I get a 5-gallon thing of paint. So there's this masonry waterproof paint, waterproofer. And that's what I painted all these walls with. And again, it's a good paint. It's a good paint. It costs a little bit. Again, that's like $150 per 5-gallon. And for this many walls, it was a couple of 5-gallon things. But overall, I think it did a good, like I say, that's a nice, bright, white job. And since I painted the walls, no water incursion at all. That's really like the most important thing. So anywho, with that, I will call it a day. See you folks in the next video.